Well, happy midweek Wednesday as we pause for a few minutes. We are, as has been our custom, we take these midweek moments to do a quick update on where we are in the course of our returning to worship, and then give us something to think about together in the middle of the week, some matter of faith. These are the dog days of summer. Hot. The sanctuary is being cooled by air conditioners. The trustees, specifically Ed Roper, Louis Jordan, are doing an exceptional job protecting the assets of our organ while all things are being processed, and that whole shipment of things necessary for HVAC systems to arrive and be put in place are ongoing. The hope is that the sanctuary will be cooled by the 1st of September. That's still the goal, and so that's where we are with that. The organ is being protected. The machinery is in the pipeline of being shipped and assembled, and we should have cool air circulating through the sanctuary in September. At the same time that the temperatures are high, so are the cases of COVID-19, which makes us hesitant to participate in any way that would contribute to the problem. So that's why we are not gathering in the fellowship hall during these days. It is cooled. It is a place that's housing pianos and other things. But in the midst of these high numbers, the wisdom of our worship committee, supported not only in the worship committee by doctors who are on that committee, but by so many other medical personnel that call Bethel home, our collective wisdom is that we need to do our part in letting the numbers go down and not gather people together in any way that would contribute to the ongoing rise of that number. We are anxious to do our part and watch those numbers come down so that all of us can, with a higher level of safety, begin to do more things that help us feel better about moving through life as we have known it. So our prayers will continue for all of that. So we are in the middle of Vacation Bible School. Those of you who are receiving Miss Nova's daily deliveries, who have children who are participating, some 50 children who are participating, hopefully are being nourished by a different kind of VBS this week. But it is a wonderful gift that our church is giving to children, young and old. So I'm grateful for that. As I think about a thought for today, last week found me at Lake Junaluska. I got to scoot away up there for about 5 days, from Sunday to Thursday, and had the opportunity to walk around the lake several times just to think and to pray and to be part of God's cathedral, that great, beautiful outdoors that God has created. And as I walked around, I was thinking about this consolidated way that Paul talks about faith, particularly in 1 Corinthians 13. We call it the love chapter. And it's really, though we read it at lots of weddings or hear it at lots of weddings, it's not meant for couples. It's meant for the community of faith. Like that we can do all kinds of achieving, climbing, acquiring things. But if we don't have love, what good does the A+ do? You know, what good does the PhD on the wall do? What good does the big house do? What good does all those climbing, achieving, accomplishing things that our society is sort of focused on? Those aren't bad in and of themselves, but if Paul is like, if I could speak in the tongues of men and of angels, have these great power, but I don't love, what is that? And then it ends with this faith, hope, and love, these three, but the greatest of these is love. This is sort of our trilogy of concepts of the life of faith. Faith, hope, love. So I want to reflect on that just a minute. Faith is holding a hand in the dark, because faith is not so much about sight. If you can see and understand, if you've got it all figured out, if it's all very clear, then I don't need any faith. Faith is a hand to hold in the dark, right? Faith is that part that is able somehow to hold the goodness of life and the hardness of life. Certainly something we need in these days where life is not, 2020 is not the year we thought it would be. And for many of us, if we could just tell me that we have 2 more months of this and then a vaccine will be here, and okay, well, we can, we just need the period. We just need the end. But this is not like that. Many of us are over this, but it's not over. And we really don't know when it will be over, which is why we need faith. And faith is that concept that even when the future is not clear, someone else holds the future, and we can put our hand, our lives, in the care of another. That's faith. Hope is the belief. Hope is that not just sheer optimism or positive thinking. Let's see it half full instead of half empty. Hope is that sense of God can be trusted to use all situations and bend them towards good because of the character of God. That God's nature is not to cause all things, but to use all things. That the arc of God's nature is to bend things towards good. That there will be, in the midst of all of this loss, we can count on and depend on good. Some ultimate good that comes out of this. God does not cause all things. God does use all things. And so that is the hope that we have. Faith is a hand to hold in the dark because we can't see. Hope is a way of believing that this arc of life, our community's life, our nation's life, our world's life, is in the hands of God, who because of God's nature will see that there's ultimate good that comes. And then finally, our way of walking, living, is a way of love. We're going to walk in the dark, we're going to walk in hope, we're going to walk with love. The church has left the building, but the church has not closed. And we're people of faith. We are people of hope. We are people who embrace a way of love. So this is the trilogy that as Paul looks on this whole life of his learning from Christ, and he distills it all down into this trilogy of what our Christian faith grounds itself in. Christian faith grounds itself in faith. It grounds itself in hope. It grounds itself in love. So I invite you to join me as we seek daily to be people who trust when we cannot see, who hope in God's ultimate goodness, and whose way is the way of love. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. We will continue to talk about being apprentices of Jesus and what do we learn from his life, his daily rhythms, his life that will help us live a life that he calls abundant. If we want the life of Jesus, then we need to embrace the lifestyle of Jesus. So I look forward to our conversation, our ongoing conversation, Sunday morning at 9 and 11:15. God's blessings to you.